And like Judd Apatow and his whole crew, right? It's like he makes it and he brings up all the people around him. And it's like, are they the absolute funniest people? Like, it's like to him, because he's worked with them. So like,
that's exactly how it works. And 9 times out of 10, when you go like this, if you're white, it's all your white friends. That's why you have to diversify. By the way, for those of you
beginning
who are doing audio only, I just made some really aggressive grabbing gestures.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Pilots 101 Podcast, the podcast where we talk about pilot episodes of a TV series. My name is Chris Quintos, and I'm here with my co-host, Lisa Timmons.
I love when you introduce me. I just feel so special. Your velvety voice saying my name.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
Brings me such joy.
We are matching today, for those who are not of the visual ilk.
Yeah, we have to tell you, we've got some vertical stripe, long-sleeved sweater cozy situations.
It's the first day in LA that feels like it could be cozy, except it's already burned off and it's 8:30 a.m.
It'll be 90 in about a minute.
It's the worst because you leave the house wearing a sweater and a jacket, and then you just like by 9:30 a.m. you're like, it just was a mistake.
It's wild because I got here almost 20 years ago, and for those of you, guess how long it takes to acclimate to the weather? About a week. And after about a week of living in LA, you're like, I can't deal with extreme climates. I need everything to be pretty temperate. But the one thing that's crazy here that a lot of people don't understand is the temperature differential in a single day is so insane. Like, it's like because it's the desert. I was looking at my power bill from last month, which was September, guys. We're supposed to be heading into fall. It gives me the average, or it gives me like the high and the low for the month, and it was 90 and 55.
Oh my gosh!
Like what?
Right? Yes, that was something I didn't understand about the East Coast. Was like, oh no, wait, this is the weather the whole day.
Yes, okay. You have committed to this. It's the humidity, because the humidity holds the temperature.
Yeah,
and so at night, in college, you go, it's a hot day, and then those balmy summer nights, like you wear your little dresses and your little summer clothes. Here, as soon as that sun sets,
you're done. You're toast.
I remember walking on a sidewalk. I hadn't been here but for a few days, and I stepped into a shadow, and I was like, "Why is it so cold in the shadow?" And then I realized, oh my gosh, I'm not in Georgia anymore.
No, it's the sun. Like, if you can't see the sun, then the sun can't see you.
It's like a driver in a car. If you're not making eye contact with the sun, you are not feeling that heat.
Right. Yeah. I know. That's so funny. I know I do. I spent one summer on the East Coast in DC of all places. And I was like, I did love that. That warm night was nice.
It feels, I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I used to be, guys, I've done my 23andMe. And there's a lot of Northern European in there. And I have to be honest, it's the part of my brain that's controlling the temperature, because it's the one on the thermostat.
It's the colonizer part.
There's a little white lady on the thermostat.
Yes,
going,
exactly.
Guys, it is hot in here.
Yeah.
I have a very tropical, beachy family. They love boats. They love being on the ocean. And I just was the only one who I would get teased for how white I was, because they were like, what's up with all the sunscreen and the big hat?
But they weren't there last week at the dermatologist, were they?
They were not.
Oh my gosh. So this week we did Veep,
Oh
which
my goodness.
we were just going on a Tony Hale for all.
Mm,
A Tony Hale for all. And it was awesome. I mean,
it was so
what is
funny.
there to say about it?
I
It
mean,
is
it's
fast.
it's so fast. It's so funny. There's I part of my I didn't finish the series. I This is actually making me propelling me to
Same.
want to continue and just go drive all the way through.
Right.
Her little tailored dresses,
Oh my
that
gosh.
sweet little
She looks
bob,
amazing.
she is goals.
She's oh yeah, she is
She
goals for
makes me
sure.
want she makes me want to be shorter.
I
She's so petite and so
she
much
looks amazing. I know.
personality. It's
Sweet.
like you, because like I love when Jonah comes in. Whenever Jonah's
Yes.
around, the whole time when she's just like looking at him, just
Dressing him down. Yeah.
dressing him down. Oh, my favorite was, "Don't ever take that tone with me." Just don't take that tone with me. I was
She's
like,
5'3".
oh,
I just looked it up. Yeah, yeah, it's great. That shot of him and her. I was thinking about that. I was like, "Oh wait, this is what it looks like when I interact with anybody."
oh. Whenever you and I have done a group photo, and I look later and I'm like,
We have to be sitting.
it looks like, I Gulliver's Travels. I'm like,
Or
the little
yeah.
Lucians are my friends now.
It's just very Golden Girls. It's just like
Mm.
yeah. It's Dorothy
See,
and her
I'm
mom.
I'm I'm Dorothy at every
Yeah.
turn.
Yeah, I think from the intro, like with the great, like just like
That
CNN
montage,
style, cheesy, like yeah, just cheesy intro. I was like, oh, I forgot how good this show is.
I forgot how that those intro credits are so smart. I just love how every episode, and also her facial expressions throughout the course of the montage, where she starts off so hopeful and triumphant, and by the end, and it's so seems like the sort of moral of the story of politics is like, no matter how bright-eyed and bushy-tailed you start, by the end you will be putting an oil guy on your clean jobs commission.
Right.
Everything that started with good intentions gets
Yes.
destroyed in the end.
It's just so like it's just such a slog. Speaking of
It's
DC, like it's such a slog. It's like
so,
it's just gross. It's just gross.
well, it's funny because, yeah, a lot of people have described DC to me as, they say it's like LA, but instead of talking about entertainment all the time, people are constantly talking about politics.
Hmm.
And the funny thing
Totally.
is,
It's no joke.
LA, let's keep it real. We have a bit of an intellectual inferiority complex.
Oh, for sure.
Like
Yeah.
we're constantly apologizing for not being as intellectual,
Yeah.
constantly apologize. And so, but it's really fun. I think it's such a fun thing as someone who is obsessed with entertainment and lives in
Right.
that world, to see that, like, I really do believe that these people obsessed with, like, they're not that much better than us.
No,
It's all
yes.
it's
Yeah,
all
I
still smoke
agree.
and mirrors and
Right.
bullshit.
Yeah, and they have their own jargon and just like
Yes, the POTUS.
yeah. Yeah. It's just like when I think it was like Anna's or Amy. Yeah.
I know, right? Anna
Anna
Chlumsky.
Schlumsky. Yeah. From
Let's just call it my girl.
My girl, my girl. Yeah,
Looking, there's that casting is amazing because,
she's yeah, great.
well,
She's great.
our memory of her is a sweet little
Right.
angel baby whose little
Yes.
bestie Macaulay Culkin got eaten by bees. That's how
Right.
I remember it.
That's exactly how I remember her. Yeah, and
So when
I
she
mean,
comes in hot,
she comes in hot and she's like, "No, he's definitely a definitely," and it's just like, and you're just like, just the jargon and the bullshit. It's so great. It's so
oh,
great.
also, I want to ask you. So this was in 2012, and it ran for
Yeah.
9 seasons. So it
Right.
went for quite.
2012. Yeah. Mm.
Do you know? Are people still using Blackberries? Is that still? That is what that was my big question from this. I was like, is that a thing? Do people use them at all?
Remember? Do
anymore.
you remember? I don't think so anymore. I
I
don't
don't
think
think
so.
so,
But
right?
don't you remember when He Who Shall Not Be Named first came
It
in
was
and he did not want to give it
Hillary's.
up?
That's
He
right. And
he
then
didn't want to give it up
Hillary.
because like it was that he was addicted, obviously, among other
Yeah.
addicted to evil and also
So even in 2016,
yeah, I kind of remember something there. And her emails, right?
her her
Yeah.
emails, guys, her emails. Yeah,
Put her in jail. Yeah.
oh my
Ha
gosh.
ha ha. Ha 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 ha. Well, guess who's going to jail now?
The answer
um,
is everyone.
um, yeah, they're just like, oh, just it. I love, yeah. I don't think so. I don't think Blackberries are still a thing. I would think that now iPhones are just like the whole
Right?
deal.
To me,
I
I'm like, wouldn't you
Yeah,
just have an Android if you
right.
were going to have something? Because I like how
Yes,
I'm also not coming from a place of knowledge where I'm just like, let me guess, is it just that you don't want to have an iPhone? So you're
right.
going to have an Android.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Which
Or is it the buttons for the letters, for the typing,
I think
maybe?
that was a big thing.
I
Was
think that was
the
hard for people to let go because I have big old sausage hands.
yeah.
And like, I, to this day, I hate texting. I love
Do you?
oh, I so hate it. Like I like it. You can tell when I'm texting on my phone and when
Because you're just like, yeah,
I'm text to typing. A lot
yeah.
of weird things are coming in. I'm being real like sloppy about it. Whatever it's, guessing that I'm saying, I'm like, sure, fine. I feel like that's the part of my life where I'm living dangerously is I'm like
Mm.
texting to type and I'm going send and I'm not even I'm like they'll get it. They'll figure it out.
Yeah, I know what you mean. Well, it's funny because I was at the gas station the other day and it was just like, when you put your credit card in and then you have to type in your zip code or yeah.
Yes.
And it was like, oh, I was like, oh, I'm touching actual number buttons. Like this is the
Yes.
only time I'm pressing in a thing because it's usually just the screens, right? Like,
Yes.
and only some
Yeah.
gas stations have that because sometimes it's like the flat ones, and sometimes it just depends, right? It's a surprise. You just don't know what
You
you're gonna
don't
get,
know. So much
but
stuff is yeah, so much of the phone technology is
it's
is
all screen.
fascinating to me because
Yeah, it's
there's
all
so much
screens
it's all screen. Well, I always think of Seinfeld. What would Seinfeld do today? Because like so much is based on having a landline
Oh
in
my
that
god.
show.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw him at I saw him at our friend I don't know if you know Glazer actually, but
I don't think I do.
he had a stand-up show like I was pregnant with my second, I want to say. And Seinfeld like just stepped in. Just like did a quick, a tight
Popped up,
20 or whatever.
did
Yeah.
a type 5.
I
Oh, a type 20.
I think it was pretty long. Maybe it was a twice. Yeah.
I have a loose 5.
He's definitely a definitely. Speaking of jargon, a type 5 is the basis for stand up. Like that's the basic that you need to have is a type 5 minutes.
That's why I say
And
that mine
like
is very loose.
we're comedians, but we're not stand up comedians. So
No,
we don't
no,
have type 5s. We
no.
have loosey goosey, wandery,
I'll do
45-minute
improv.
podcasts is what we have.
Can I get a word, please? And if you say pineapple, you will be murdered.
What am I holding in my hand? I So yeah, but he did this thing about like the iPhone. I think it probably came out, but he did this thing about like he does a whole bit about phones. Yeah, about like
Yeah.
how they're controlling us basically,
Yeah.
like cuz he
Well,
was like I lost my phone in an Uber and then like I had to like the guy I was following the Uber on my like computer and I was watching my phone come to me and I was like wait a minute, what is going on? Like that kind of thing.
yes, yes.
So
What's the deal about losing your phone in an Uber?
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, I think he would have a lot to say about this. I haven't been up on my Seinfeld lately, but yeah, in the show, I mean, like, I don't know, that's all he would talk about.
That's
But
all.
like that.
Speaking of him, her.
Oh, right.
I love how
Yes.
we didn't. That wasn't even, guys. This woman is such a successful phenomenon that we just naturally reference something, and of course, she was
With
in it.
right, Julia Louis Dreyfus. I
Dreyfus.
mean, what a gem of a
She's
comedic actor.
So funny, so funny. I just love her her anger. Like
Yes.
the
Shut this the
moment,
fuck down. Yeah,
shut
she
this
just
the fuck down. Shut this the fuck down. You actually you hit on the moment. Yeah, because when she's at her angriest, she says exactly what the she says like the thesis statement for the series. She
Oh,
goes,
yeah.
everyone in this office is so, what does she say, aggressively incompetent or something? This office is just aggressively incompetent. And you're like, yes, that's what we signed up for.
That is what we want. There aren't enough people in here to fill a canoe. She's just like,
Well, if we remember correctly, this was 2012. So
we're
this was 4 years into
a
Obama's
hopeful time. A
administration,
hopeful time.
a hopeful time when our biggest crazy political
Scandal. Yeah.
scandal, goofiness coming from the White House was that Joe Biden was this like
Oh my
fumbling sort of
gosh.
character. I,
Yes, I
I
forgot.
remember that, like, oh yeah, we were like laughing about Uncle Joe, and because remember
Right.
he was constantly saying, I just yeah, like I think
He was
about the
doing all
days of
kinds of wild
Dan
things. Yeah.
Quayle misspelling potato being like a big deal. But yeah, this is so funny because again, there's no they're making fun, but it's not really coming for the office
Mm,
like quite so hard. I think it's
no,
more
it's
of like it sort of feels more playful and fun and like, oh, they're just
yeah.
big old dumbasses. And
It's an office comedy.
it's very
Is
much it felt
yeah.
very safe to and like
Set in the
the
Veep's office.
and then I thought that was funny to think about the time of like who our vice president was at the time and what sort of role he seemed to play. And he kind of did
Right.
just seem to be like bopping around and, goofy ass Joe and,
Yeah.
slick and sophisticated Obama.
I know, right? Yeah, and then they had that whole like bromance thing
Yes.
forever. Yeah, which was fun. I but like yeah, what brought us to Veep was Tony Hale. And
Yes.
I just
Oh,
like the Leviathan, like when he's carrying around that bag, I just like all of it and he's like box me,
oh,
Gary. Like,
when he's carrying the bag, when he keeps trying to devil wears Prada her at this thing where there's like
yes.
three people. My favorite was when he goes, I don't know who that is.
And then he like wildly celebrates behind her when he's right.
Yes.
It's just like, are you kidding me?
Their relationship is so wonderful.
So good.
He's doing the same thing that he did for Lucille Bluth because he
Yes,
loves Selena
yes.
Meyer unconditionally.
He just he plays in the shadow of a powerful woman and we're watching. It's like
And
he's like
it's so
jumping
good.
in puddles over there. Like it's so funny. It's
The bit about this European
the
sweetener,
sweeteners. No sweetener, Gary.
no
No
sweetener,
sweetener.
no
No
sweetener.
sweet.
When and
No sweetener.
it so reminds me of like a really sort of aggressive mom who really wants to let you know how well she knows her child. And
Yeah.
so she's like, here are those European sweeteners you like. And I love as soon as she's behind closed doors, she's like, ugh, I don't know why he thinks I like those.
They're not very good.
They're not very good.
But you know that it took him like forever to get them.
And he's a maniac and he's obsessed with do you want a scarf? Do you want your scarf? She's like, okay, please stop.
Yeah. Wait, what did she say? She said something like, "Oh, Gary, I have large moving shapes covered." You know, like because he like,
He kept identifying, like, that's a table over there.
yeah,
I don't know who that man is.
large moving shapes. Like, get off of me. Like it was just, oh my gosh, they have such a fun relationship.
Such a
And
fun
then
relationship.
my all-time favorite bit, like which I only remembered from watching this pilot, was, "Hey Sue, did the president call?" Just oh my god, I forgot.
Has
I
never
forgot.
called. Oh, another thing I love, Sue.
Sue,
Sue
she's great.
is great.
She's the only competent one in the entire office.
The only competent one. When she says to the person, whoever she's talking to on the phone, she does it. Her schedule's booked. No, no, I I can't say no any more times, and just
Yeah,
hangs up.
I don't know. Yeah. Oh my gosh, she's great.
Yeah,
She
she
is so
is.
good. What a great character.
That's such a good character because yeah, she is. You're right. She's the only one who's competent. Everyone, even Amy,
Yeah.
signs the card,
Yeah.
the wrong name. They have to do this whole rigmarole. She ends up having to go on a date with Jonah. I love how gross Jonah is.
Oh my gosh. He's so funny.
He's so
Timothy
funny.
Simmons.
Ugh,
Is he UCB? Yeah, he must be.
I think that he is. I think
I think
he's
that he is
UCB.
too.
I mean,
I feel like I've seen him before.
oh
Um,
yeah, he's so mad. I just feel like yeah, I feel like there's so many tall, overly
Tall.
tall, goofy white guys at UCB. I'm just like,
It's
oh, you must be
Yeah, it's just upright. I was like, wait, colonialist brigade. You're just like,
upright.
right.
You're very upright, sir.
Yeah, obviously Matt Walsh. Obviously,
Oh,
would
his fake dog,
his fake. I gotta walk the
the
dog.
dog that everyone knows is not real.
Right. Go home, feed the dog, bathe the
Shoot,
dog.
shoot the dog. It's
It's so good. He's so
it's so
funny. He's a
good.
great, just like bumbling. What would you say, Mike? What would you say are the two biggest mistakes I made in the
Oh,
campaign? He's
when
like the
he
hat.
says the hat and what was the other? They
I
were
can't
both
even remember
two,
what the.
and like her face as she's taking in, she's like, "Yes, you're an idiot. That's what I suspected."
Yeah. Well, I mean, what's wild is like my understand. I don't know. Have
The
you ever
hat.
watched? Yeah, have you ever watched? God, I can't remember what it was called now. But there's I want to say it was called Battleground. There was like a short-lived series on Hulu. I'll
P-Town?
look it up. It was like this
Something
like
about the Potomac. Wait, I
it
think I
was
know what you're
it
talking
was just
about.
another election show or whatever. But
Wait, I think I've seen a little bit of it's sort of like a lower level because they're on a campaign and I think
yes,
it's for like
it
a
is called
senator or
Battleground.
something.
Wow, that's funny. Two
Good job.
seasons. Good job, Chris. And I did it because there was just like a cute guy in it, and it
There's
was about
gotta
politics. People entertainment gets me.
well,
They
you know,
they get me.
here's the thing. Cute guys are the cheese on the broccoli. If you want us to eat those vegetables, you're gonna have to,
Right.
entice us.
Right. It was actually a pretty good. It was actually a pretty good show. But the thing is that like so the way that my understanding of like elections and politics and this is general is that
Oh, girl, same.
basically so you decide to run and then like you run a campaign and like it's sort of like oh you from a campaign it's like oh you put 5 yard signs up last week you're my new social director you know what I mean like it's just kind of like you're it's all piecemeal like you're just like
Yes, everything's kind of being pieced together, especially I
yeah
think
if it's from
I
the
mean
ground grassroots like
grassroots. Yeah. I mean the weird thing is I feel like it's still all kind of I feel like
y-
I could be wrong cuz also I'm just guessing. I feel
right
like
yeah
I
it's all
liken
right
it to since for me my comp is the entertainment industry.
right
So I liken
exactly
it to, there's independent producing and independent filmmaking, but
right
at the end of the day, it's the same principles just with less money. Because at the
yeah
top, if you see, they are cobbling people together. They're
right
cobbling together their little coalition. You're constantly running around
yes
begging people to come to your show.
right or you're like oh yeah you donated a lot okay if I win which like what are the chances but like let's say if I win you can be ambassador to France.
Which, by the way, did you know that our mayor, Eric Garcetti, has
Yes.
been tapped to be the ambassador of India? What shady nonsense is this? He
Right.
does not speak,
Right.
but
He's not.
like I think he
What
just
does he
like
know about the culture? What is
what does he
he?
know about the
Yeah.
culture? I'm like, this is so weird and shady. I also had this weird inclination to talk to somebody about it yesterday.
It
Like,
is
who
so
am I?
wild. Well, he also he was on the news yesterday because he just tested positive.
He's got COVID.
He has COVID. He's in Glasgow for the
The
summit,
the
climate
energy
change.
summit.
Yeah, and so yeah, it's just kind of like it's just like
Just goes to
why
show you.
India? What are you
Yeah,
talking about?
I would watch. This feels like an episode from Veep.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And so there's sort of like this feeling of like, so if you start a campaign, like if she presumably starts a campaign from nowhere and
Yeah,
she just like, and Mike just happens to be the guy who gets her like 10 meetings, then he becomes the guy,
the
you
communications
know?
guy until something explodes and then you have to fire them.
Right.
That's how
Right.
it seems like it works.
Yeah, totally. And it's not that different from here where it's like, okay, Judd Apatow.
Proximity. You
Yeah.
just need somebody. Are you right here? Okay,
Right.
you're in my movie
Yes,
now.
you're and like Judd Apatow and his whole crew, right? It's like he makes it and he brings up all the people around him, and it's
Yes.
like, are they the absolute funniest people? Like, it's like to him because he's worked with
Oh,
them. So like,
that's exactly how it works. And 9 times out of 10, you're when you go like this, if you're white, it's all your white friends. That's
yeah,
why you have to
yeah,
diversify. By the way, for those of
from the
you
beginning.
who are doing audio only, I just made some really aggressive grabbing gestures.
Around her
Very,
circle, around her personal circle. I'm the one. She's grabbing me. I'm on the left. I can tell.
I'm grabbing her, and you've got to Inspector
her,
Gadget those arms, y'all.
her other hand is the other Chris. It's two Chris's in that first grab.
So many Chris's. All of my grabs are Chris's.
But yeah, you just kind of because it moves fast, right? Like everyone talks about like it's a meteoric rise. So it's just like you don't have time to vet like someone who's like the best at whatever until
You're
like
like, they helped me win.
right
I'm
until
here
it slows
now.
down.
Yeah.
So like it's really important that like from the beginning the people when you have time and you're establishing your people like to just in whatever venture it may be that you're on to really like the people because one day you're going to ask them what you think was wrong with the campaign. They're going to say your hat and
Oh my
whatever.
gosh. Oh, also, he goes, you did look tired a lot of the time.
You looked tired all the time
He
and
said,
the hat. The
and
hat.
her little face, the how she takes it in, just like where she's like, he's such a fucking idiot. You could
Yeah.
always tell when she's like, oh, can we also just talk? There are, oh, can we pause for one moment?
Yeah. Yeah.
We have resumed, guys. Just like politics, entertainment is fast paced, and I got a call from the showrunner's assistant that I had to take.
You have to. You got to take it. Showrunners, they do not mess around. That
They
is,
run shows.
they run shows. It's all in the title.
Well,
It's all in
it's
the
so
title.
funny. It's so funny that just happened because I was thinking to myself, the way that I've always seen it to portrayed on TV of like working in politics, you just constantly see people on their phones. And I
Yeah.
also don't understand when these people sleep because everyone's like texting. They're
Yes.
going to a dinner, and even when they're at the dinner, they're like texting.
Yeah.
And everyone's always putting out fires.
Right.
And it looks terrifying.
It does, but then there are periods of time where we're doing the same.
Oh, yeah, exactly. It's so I think it's so funny. I think I do the opposite of the grass is greener. I assume everyone else's shit is way more complicated and difficult than mine. I just assume I haven't figured it out.
Yeah. I understand that, but yeah, they're totally. Yeah, they're all up in the. I remember the BlackBerry thing. I mean, now we're all like that, so it's
Oh,
like, okay, I guess we're all. It's so bad. It's so bad for us. I think.
oh, it's terrible. Like my
I
brain, I was thinking that the other day because I was logging into some website to check
yeah,
something, and it's like, can I verify your identity by sending you the code? And I'm like,
yeah,
yeah. And it texts me the code.
right.
And in between the time that I look at the code
Uh
and
huh.
I go to type it in, I've already forgotten what the number is. Like
Oh,
my memory retention
yeah.
for numbers is gone.
It's totally gone. And in fact, it will my phone will auto populate like the text. So it's like, can I text you a code? And then I'll get a notification that I have a text and then the keyboard will pop up on the page and say, this is from your text messages. Here's the
Yes.
code. And it's just like, oh, it's
You guys are
creepy
making it
now.
so easy. I
It's
don't
so
know how to do
creepy now.
anything. All the numbers I have memorized, I memorized
When I was a child.
Yeah. I think the last one I memorized was when I was a teenager.
I use that shit for my passwords still. Like I'll be like, "Oh, this was grandma's landline number."
Aw,
Like
yes,
I'll
that's
like
so
use it.
smart.
Yeah, cuz it's like, well, those are forever, burned in my memory. They still do, I will say, in first grade. Maybe my son's school is different, but he still has every week he has to memorize like a poem, like
Oh,
pumpkins large and round, like coming up from the ground, like, and like it's like they
that's really
test him
cute.
on Fridays for recitation. Thank
Oh my
God.
god! Is
Um,
today pumpkin quiz day?
mhm, mhm.
Oh, that's so
Yeah, today is,
cute.
yeah, I can't remember what the, yeah, I think it was pumpkins this week, but in the beginning of the year it was like apples, nice and juicy, like something like growing on a tree. Like I can't even remember because my memory is shit. But
Oh my
yeah,
god, that's so
it's
cute.
pretty cute. And yeah, today is, we record on a Friday, so today is that the day before the weekend? That's how he asks me what day it is, because
Oh,
they serve pizza at school. So
oh, Pizza Fridays.
yeah, so if he games it right, he has pizza at school and pizza at home.
Kiddo, that's the dream.
The American dream right there. That's right. And
Oh my gosh, that's so funny.
he just like loves pepperoni pizza, so it's just like, I don't know, he's just, so every time I order a pizza, I'm like, what is it today? Vegetable and anchovies, and he's like, Mom, like getting
By the way, I love that the pizza that gets the mom is like my dream pizza.
I know, I want that one. I'm like
I love vegetables. I love anchovies. Let's have
I'm
a
like,
pizza
oh, with a
party.
little sun-dried tomato on there. Oh, I know. Yeah, yeah, it is Pizza Friday though, so an American
Definitely,
tradition.
definitely pizza fry. Oh wait, let me see here too. So, who is what is the character's name of the shady guy who totally throws his boss under
Oh, yeah.
the bus
Dan,
in
I
a
think.
Dan, oh, the ladder climber, the disgusting
He's
little ladder
great.
climber. He's perfect. He's
Yeah, he's well
perfectly
cast.
cast as
Yeah.
the foil for Anna Schlumpsey's character,
Yeah,
and you
yeah.
already know this guy's a snake. Like, I love that he was dating
The
his
daughter.
the daughter, and then immediately broke up with her when he
Oh
like
my
ditched her for
god.
Selena. He's so wonderfully openly slimy
Yeah, yeah.
that you're like, oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I feel like I get this guy.
I appreciate when you're just openly slimy.
Yes,
Like,
like
I don't want to expect anything more from you. Now we know where we all stand. Like, it's great when it's like
Dan
that.
is not going to tell you that he's a quote unquote nice guy.
Never. He'll never say that.
He'll never
No.
lie.
No, it's great. We need more data. I mean, we have a lot of them. They're just not aware enough.
To know that they are who they
Yeah,
are.
exactly.
And then
Like,
the lady politician, is she a senator? Is she like
yeah, I think, or is she? I think she's, because
minority
wait,
house
because
leader? Or what's her
yeah,
deal?
because I feel like wait, what is vice president is
The head of the
no,
Senate, right?
yes, is the head of the Senate. So I feel like she was Speaker of the House, probably. I'm
That
guessing.
feels right. Like she is Speaker of the House because what do you, what does it feel like I'm missing? Oh, a lack of power or something
Yeah.
like that. And she's like, ha, just kidding. And I was like, I love that the two main politicians in this pilot are women.
Yes.
They're two women, and they're getting to be as big of dicks to each other
Yes.
as men, and it was really fun. I also love that you do not see the president for like
Oh
the first.
yeah.
I think he doesn't come until the second season, and
Yeah.
and it's very much like the Muppets parents in the cartoon where she's like, wah, 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 wah.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to see this guy. Has the president called? No. Okay. Okay.
That's the president called. Yeah, and they're just both in these like really, they're just such powerful, elegant women. She sits down in the couch section.
That
That was
moment.
the best.
There's so many moments of like flexes,
Yeah, yeah,
little
yeah.
behavioral flexes that you see when she can't be bothered to get up from her desk. She doesn't even look up from her computer.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's so good.
So good, so dismissive. And then
That's Meredith Grey, right? Or
oh, her
not Meredith
mom,
Grey. Her
Meredith
mom.
Grey's
Yeah.
mom with
Yeah.
dementia, right?
Yes. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I know these things about her. I don't know her character's name, but like I know her
Right.
life.
Same. I know the actress, okay?
She is great because I've also just been rewatching Parks and Rec.
Oh, nice.
And so it's a similar era and a lot of similar themes. And it was just those ladies who just are like, oh yeah, I buy her as a senator.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I buy
That
her as a senator.
old school lady politician energy, the Nancy Pelosi's, like
Yeah, yeah. It's so great. It's so yeah, it's wonderful. And they do have and you mentioned at the top, but like Selena's dress and just like
I
mm,
mean, we only get one, we only get a couple in this one, but
yeah,
I remember just being like, wow.
the
First of all,
clothes.
I didn't watch, I watched Seinfeld and I didn't watch Old Adventures of New Christine.
Me neither, actually.
So I think that's why when I saw her in Veep, I was like, oh my God, because they dressed her crazy in Seinfeld. Well, it was the 90s. Like she was dressed like Annie Hall, which is fine, but like, she
Yeah,
would have these big giant clothes and her hair was so big.
yeah,
It was nuts. And so now I'm like, oh, you finally got to see her dressed. And I was like, she's so petite. She's like, she
yeah.
looks so hot. She's like this
She
hot
does. She
50
looks
something
great.
lady. I remember just being like, is it Pilates? Is that what I
She,
need to be doing? Her
she looks
skin,
really good.
she
She looks
looks
really good.
amazing. And
Yeah.
yes, Julia Louis-Dreyfus comes from some real money, but also, I don't know. I feel like she has like great genes. She just looks the same.
Yeah, she's great. And she also is just like she delivers. Like she's
Hmm.
so good,
And
you
this lady
know?
had cancer. Like they had to pause for her to be
Yes.
treated for cancer. Came back, final
That's
season,
oh
rocked
my
it.
gosh.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
Yeah,
what a crazy 7 seasons. Now I'm like well, as we're
I
talking
know.
about it, I'm like so excited to get through to keep
200
going and check it out.
241 nominations, 74 wins for the show.
Well, also I remember I
That's
think
amazing.
at one point I was writing a Veep spec or something and I was like
Yeah.
researching like the style of the show. This is so the opposite of me because I underwrite.
Yeah.
The scripts are so long just because of the speed of the dialogue that
Oh,
has to get
yeah.
out because it's the Sorkin thing of just they're just like they're constantly walking and talking and they're just like everything's fast and furious and flying around. There's just so much talking.
And they're so good at like delivering it like they're just like it's improv, you know?
Yes, it feels very improvised and very natural and it's oh gosh, there's so oh, I just remember when Tony Hale like put on what is obviously a woman's
Oh
jacket.
my gosh. Yeah, he puts on Sue's jacket to go
Sue's
get
jacket, looking like Little Red Riding Hood for his undercover mission. Oh, the other thing I just
the card back from the president from Jonah from the
from
president's
Jonah,
office.
from the pres. Then they'd have to forge the president's signature
Yes.
for what was what was it? A deceased
A
senator who
rapey senator.
a rapey senator.
Rapey
And
Reeves they called him.
a few things because I'm always very curious because this is not that many years ago, or at least in my head
Right,
it doesn't
right.
feel like it was.
I
But
know.
like I don't even feel comfortable using the R word on this podcast.
I know, right?
That's something I was thinking too. As I was like, I just, I'm curious. I'm like, I don't know that I feel like that what holds up for me. I
The
feel like it's a bit touchy. Like I don't
the
know. Like
joke. Yeah.
I'm like, am I being too sensitive? But I'm also like, is there something? I just feel like it would have been so. Or you know what it is? It's so funny now that I think about it again in a post he who shall
Let's
be not be named world you're
let's
just like
talk about it. Yeah.
it's so funny to think again of the quote unquote scandals but again if this is a Democrat yes that would have been a scandal but if this were a Republican nobody would be batting an eyelash
Oh my
because I
god.
mean what
Yeah.
else is new it just everything is so hard to contextualize in my head because I'm like remember when this would have been a scandal.
Right. Right. And then I mean since then honestly. Since then, like Me Too has happened.
Yeah. So what? Remember that lady's when the lady senator who Dan ditched. Her whole fiasco was accusing him of
Right.
basically a Me Too situation, and it's just understood that her career is over.
Even though it's true. Like, because, like,
Totally true.
yeah, and, like, because Selena even said, like, oh, yeah, he grabbed my left tit, like, or whatever. And how it was just like, that was just like a casual joke, which is like so different from today. Thank God, I hope. I mean, it's weird. Well, yeah, yeah. The times they are changing for the better. I
Yeah.
know we like definitely don't make rape jokes. I think like that will be. It won't. That joke probably won't age well.
No.
um, yeah.
But
So
it's
it's
but you
it'll
know
be
what
interesting
though? I have to say, it's a real good, honest slice of life
from
because
that time for
I
sure.
think so. I feel like it's probably pretty accurate. And that's why it doesn't hold up in that
For
way.
sure, it was accurate. For sure, it was accurate. I mean, you and I know, just like being anywhere, like, yeah, some, well, like residuals. Random guy, grabbed my ass one time.
Oh
Like,
yeah. Oh
yeah,
yeah.
we're talking about a bar that we used to hang out at all the time, which
Yeah.
is now I think since closed. I've heard,
I believe it. I mean,
which is sad.
guys, everything is closing. Everything you loved is over. I'm just
the
kidding.
vi-
But
you,
oh wait, this is so random because I was like,
yeah,
everything you loved is over except AMC. Let me ask you a question.
yeah,
Have you seen, and any of you guys listening, have any
yeah.
of you seen these Nicole Kidman commercials for AMC? Because I started watching Peacock.
No,
I started watching Peacock, and then a friend of mine, I guess she went, or my coworker went to the movies, and we both were like, "What is up with Nicole Kidman?" She did this AMC commercial that plays on my at least Peacock for me. Maybe it's tailored for me
yeah.
over and over, where she's just like, "Come back to the movies." AMC. It's literally
Oh,
just Nicole Kidman
interesting.
in this like suit, in this sparkly suit, walking into AMC, and she's so heavily featured that I'm like, did they just give Nicole Kidman AMC? Because I feel like she probably walked in and was like, listen, I'll do this commercial, but then your company's mine. Because like I feel like Nicole Kidman is one of the last movie stars who still could do that.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's interesting. No, I haven't seen those. That's I haven't watched Peacock though. Um
Well, speaking of Peacock, I
yes.
since I have the
Please
subscription, I wanted for our next show that we dive
go
into.
on.
It's called We Are Lady Parts.
We are
It was
lady parts.
it
Okay.
has 100% rating on Rotten Tomatoes.
What?
It's on
Let's see.
Peacock. It is the
Lady
story
parts.
is a young Muslim woman in, I believe, London, England,
Uh-huh.
joins a band of other ladies and a little rock band, and it's this cute fusion, from what I understand, of like, imagine these little Muslim ladies taking on uh, like London rock jams. So
Okay, okay.
they're doing the British rock, their version of British rock.
Okay.
It's supposed to be really cute,
That
and
sounds fun.
I mean,
Yeah. 100% on
I
Rotten Tomatoes.
I live for movies about like I love School of Rock. Like I
Yeah.
love like a group of like Bad News Bears getting together to put on a show. You guys, we got to save the youth center.
Yeah.
I always want them to save the youth center.
um I was okay. So Peacock, what is that? It's like it's NBC's.
It's NBC's streaming service. It is my current employer, so
Right. Full
and
disclosure. Yeah.
full disclosure, it is the new streaming service that they're
So
wanting to get in there with HBO Max. They're wanting to get in
okay.
there
So
with Netflix
everyone
and
has a
Hulu.
streaming service now, right?
Everyone has a streaming service now. I
So
mean, yeah.
right. So NBC is so Peacock is okay. HBO Max, Peacock. I'm like Paramount Plus is a streaming service, right?
Paramount Plus is a streaming service. At this point, I think I'm subscribing to it. I'm not even sure because I get all my RuPaul's Drag Race.
I'm just not clear about what we're talking about here.
Oh,
Okay.
none of it's clear.
So if I have cable,
Yes.
do you automatically have Peacock or not?
That is a
We don't know.
great question.
We're going to ask Reddit.
I'll have to look it up. I think the answer I want to say is yes, but I also am not totally sure.
We don't know. Okay, I'm going to figure this out. I just because I know that I'm not alone in being like, Peacock?
No,
what does
you
that
are.
mean?
No, that is part of my fear about my current employer is that.
No, I mean, I think we know they have the power of NBC behind them, so it's not
Yeah.
But I just don't. I also don't watch NBC, unlike
I don't really either.
Most of the world does. Like prime time is still pretty popular.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of out of it. Basically there was maybe 8 years where I didn't have a TV in my 20s.
Yeah, I had to take mine away from myself for a little bit. I had cable at one point, and it was.
So my new TV, being into TV is fairly new for me as an identity marker. Is what I'm saying.
See that? Yes.
Yeah, you know that. You know that about me.
Fully. I'm the opposite. I was in recovery from TV for a minute there because I was working from home by myself, and I would just be like, "Hey, VH1, give me another trashy dating show."
Right. Yeah. No, I just because when I was growing up, I didn't have cable, so that was the first thing. Right, and also you weren't here.
And I wasn't here. So I did the opposite of probably what you did. I did the thing where I was I was deprived.
Yeah.
And I gobbled it all up like a little piggy.
Right. I totally went the other way. That's so funny. But yeah, no, I think this is great. I'm interested. So I'll figure it out. I'll have a primer about how to explain what Peacock is next week when we come back.
Guys, we will explain Peacock. We will give it all to you. Oh, one final thing I wanted to tell you, Chris.
Yes.
So I logged into our Anchor where we post, and it tells, because guys, Anchor is how we're publishing this podcast. Right. And before we jump off, I just want to say we have listeners, 91% United States, 4% Germany. Mm-hmm. Hallo, und wie geht's? 2% United Kingdom.
Hey.
What's up, y'all? What's up?
Top of the morning?
No,
that's wrong. That's wrong.
Is it wrong?
I went to Irish Catholic school. Sorry. That was really, I sort of lump it all together. Apologies.
I feel like they'll be fine.
Apologies.
Kenya, 1%.
Okay. Interesting.
Finland, 1%. I don't know how to say anything in Finland. And New Zealand. New Zealand. If you came here for Wellington Paranormal, welcome. So nice to have you. All of you guys. Thank you, international listeners. I can't believe this. That's so cool.
You guys, tell us what to watch from your countries.
Please.
And let's see if we can figure out how to. We'll figure it out.
We'll figure it out. I mean, listen.
You guys know, I watch all kinds of Chinese TV. So much Chinese TV.
We will have to do a Chinese show very soon because I want to diversify our geographic location. I want to see if we can get to China through one of your Chinese shows.
Well, we're going to go to We Are Lady Parts. In England. Which is, right.
So that's look out, UK, baby.
Yeah. So let us know. Yeah.
I figured it out. Instead of top of the morning, what British people say is, do I make you horny, baby?
Do I make you randy? That's offensive. This is offensive. No, it's offensive. So just what we like to do is hear where you're from and then just relentlessly make fun of it.
That's our vibe. Welcome to America.
Thank you guys for listening. We're going to watch Lady Parts. Let us know what you think we should watch next. You can hit us up all over the socials, on Anchor. I think you can just message us there.
Do it.
We're on Instagram. I'm at Chris Q. You can find Timmons Lisa at Timmons Lisa.
Yeah.
And you can find us at Pilots 101 Podcast.
Yes. Bye, guys.
Thank you for listening.